Hey guys, Kaylee Jane here with Cedar Winds Farm. I am driving down the road to check on my boys and bring them some bedding because it's supposed to get down to the 30s tonight. I think they might get a little chilly out in the pasture without some nice warm hay to sleep on. But we had a kidding today, so we kicked off our kidding season with Cleo, and she had twins. And this was day 149 of her gestation. So the standard goats will typically kid between days 145 and 155. I've heard of some that went to 160. I've never had one go that far. So anyway, and I got to film the whole thing. I usually don't get to watch all of the kiddings from like start of labor to finish, but Cleo's went pretty quickly today, and I was able to cancel the plans that I had for the day so that I could stick around and be there. And usually, I mean, every goat's different. Some of them really want you there, they want you involved, and others don't. So I kind of just take my cue from their behavior and act accordingly. But Cleo definitely wanted company. She was getting distressed and hollering for me whenever I would leave, so I stuck around, and thankfully her labor was pretty short, especially for a first freshener. And the first time kidding is obviously, you don't really know what to expect because you have a goat that's never had babies before. So honestly, it went so well. It was just a very beautiful, nice kidding. It is graphic, so you know, if amniotic fluid and placentas and things like that bother you, probably go watch a different video because it's all there. I'm going to show it all. And the reason I decided to film it is because I just think it's kind of interesting, you know, to watch. You read about all this stuff, but when you see it visually in front of you, it just kind of makes sense on a different level. And when I was first starting out with goats, preparing for my first kidding season, it was really helpful for me to watch kidding videos of other people. And you know, everybody has different things that they prioritize with kidding. For me, it's just creating as low stress of an environment for my goat as I possibly can. And so for Cleo, that meant, you know, me hanging out with her all afternoon. Other goats are gonna not want you there at all. So it just really depends a lot on the individual. And I usually don't intervene a whole lot unless I feel like they really need it. With Cleo, I did help kind of ease one of her kids out. I really didn't even pull on him. I just sort of, I saw that he was a really large kid, and she was hurting. She was struggling a little bit. She would have been totally fine if I just left her. She was pushing him out. So anyway, but yeah, it was a textbook great kidding. She's great. Kids are great. Everything's good. She's been struggling a little bit figuring out nursing, but I'm not at all surprised by that. A lot of times first fresheners have a little bit of a hard time grasping that concept, but she's taking good care of her kids, and I'm going to keep working with her on nursing. So I think we're going to be just fine. So I'm going to share all that. This is going to be a long video. I've already done an insanely long intro. So without further ado, enjoy Cleo's kidding video. Alright, so I'm not very self-confident here, but I think her ligaments are gone. So she's two ligaments that kind of run like this along the tail head, and whenever those are completely gone, like you can't find them anymore, that means they're usually going to kid within about 12 hours. And there might be a little something right here, maybe. But yeah, for the most part, I mean, I can get my fingers, let me see, I mean, I can wrap my fingers pretty far around the tail head there. Tail head's very loose, sorry baby, sorry. Very loose and flexible, so I think we're probably going to be kidding today. You can also see that she's kind of just sunken in. These are her hips here, and just this area here is real sunken in. And their kids will usually drop right before kidding. And so you'll get this kind of sunken in look. And that's another sign that they're close. They don't always, sometimes they'll drop a day or two before they kid, but that usually means you're pretty close. And then you can see this little hollow here in her tail head. It means that her ligaments are really soft and relaxed right there. So she's got this little dip right here around her tail. She's also not eating all of her grain, which again, sometimes they'll go off eat a little bit right before they kid. I usually don't get too worried about it because they're usually ravenously hungry right after they have their babies, and they'll eat everything in sight. So I just turned all the girls out on the pasture, but I don't think Cleo wants to go out today. So muddy. We got like 2 inches of rain last night or something like that, I think. Yeah, she looks like she's not real excited about going out, so I think I'll just let her hang out at the barn. Yeah, she is. Here, let me give her another feel. You don't want me to feel? Okay, that's fine. I just felt her ligaments and I couldn't find any at all, so I think her udder has filled up maybe even a bit more. And she's just kind of standing around, not really moving a lot, but not really relaxed, chewing her cud. So yeah, but I think she's gonna go soon, probably. I've been getting this stall ready. I put down some fresh hay. I've been working on rigging up this heat lamp. It's not really where it needs to be. Do you like that heat lamp, Cleo? That's for your babies. It's supposed to be down in the 30s tonight, so they're probably going to need a lamp on them for a few hours just until they get totally dry. And then my project right now is I need to replace this flap. It's supposed to block the door to keep the wind out and the rain. Somebody stood on it and tore it up. I'm thinking it was probably Cleo. So I gotta take this apart and redo it so that we don't have wind in here when the babies are born. So that's what I'm gonna do, and then once that's done, we should be good to go. Yeah, we should be good to go. You picked one of the coldest, wettest, most windy days this week to have your babies. Good job. You just want some love, don't you? You're a good girl. So I've got my door curtain fixed. That'll keep the wind out and the rain. And then I also set up, it's so messy, I need to probably clean this up. Set up some alternative housing out here. So I just put out this IBC tote. Yeah, it looks like that needs fresh bedding. And then I have this A-frame shelter that's always out here. So I've got alternative housing set up so all of my goats can go in and be under shelter in case I need to lock Cleo up in the stall with her babies. Hi. She's looking really sunken in along her hip bones. They definitely have dropped, I think probably even more than they were this morning. And see how her tail is cocked like that? That's just another labor sign. You're getting close, love. Alright, we got Goo. We've got a really full udder, and she's just acting very restless and uncomfortable. Kind of up and down, not really finding a good spot yet. So yeah, we're getting close. She's having a contraction right now. See how her anus is all tightened up, tense. The area around her tail head's really sucked in. She's having a contraction. She's not really pushing yet, but she is having contractions. You can see her sides tightening up. She's been real restless, up and down, clawing, not really getting comfortable anywhere. Contractions over now. Look at how much her udder is filled. It's just been like literally filling as I've been sitting here. So she's definitely one that's going to fill her udder while she's in active labor. I think that's another contraction there. See how her tail goes up, gets all stiff. Good girl. Yeah, she's all, look, she's got her back all humped up. It's a pretty strong one. It's 1:26 and she's got more goo. It's not the amber colored goo yet, which comes right before they have the babies. It's a pretty good string of goo. Looks like she's having another contraction here. Alright, I think she might be getting ready to push here. Are you getting ready to push? Good girl. Here comes another contraction. It's 1:45. She's definitely getting more uncomfortable. You're all right, good girl. It's 1:49. So it's been about an hour since I first started seeing mucus, and she started having contractions. And she's not pushing yet. She's just got some contractions going on. I haven't really been timing them, but I would say probably every 3 to 5 minutes, something like that. She's been having a contraction. Some of them have been big and some of them haven't been very big. So I may have missed some in between the big ones. Okay, that was a push. She's pushing. See that? Alright, see. Got her lip pushed out like that. That's what they do when they're pushing. Mm-hmm. 3 or 4 pushes, but most of them have been very small. This last one was a real good actual push. So I think we're getting pretty close now, probably. She hasn't really settled down to actual real pushes yet, like pushing the baby out. It's okay, girl. You're a good girl. Pushing now, right against the wall. Oh gosh. Vulva's starting to pull through the bushes, so it won't be too much longer before she's ready. She pushes like this for about 20 minutes. I'm gonna reach in and feel what's going on, just to make sure the kids are positioned correctly. But so far, she seems to be fine, and I'm not really concerned. She's a first freshener, so sometimes it takes a little longer for them to progress than it does with the season doe, but she seems pretty calm, and so I'm not real concerned. It's about 2:10 now, so if she hasn't made significant progress by 2:30, I'll have a feel. I don't think I'm going to need to. I think she's going to be alright on her own. So there's your ambergris right there. Alright, making progress. That's the water sac. So baby should be next. You should see 2 feet and a nose. That's the best position. That's a big kid. Look at the size of that. You can do it, girl. You can do it. Good girl. You can do it. Good girl. You're doing so good. There's another foot. That's good. So far, so good. See 2 little white hooves there. No, we just need a nose to go with those feet, and we'll be all set. We'll be all set. Good girl. Girl, you can do it. I think that is the nose. See that bulge right there? I bet that's going to be the nose right just gonna look and make sure there's a nose here. Hey, love, let me look and make sure we got a nose. Yep, there's a nose right there. Okay, we're just gonna pull this one a little bit. There we go. You're okay, you can do it. She's really struggling. I'm gonna pull this foot a little bit so the shoulders slip out a little easier. I'm not really pulling, I'm just maintaining a little bit of extra pressure. There we go. There we go. We're getting there. Let's do. I think we're better off holding on to this one. Good girl, Cleo. You can do it. The head's almost through. Head's almost through, love. You're so close. So close. You don't want to really pull too aggressively unless it's a real emergency situation because you'll tear their vulva. But sometimes you can kind of just ease the kids out. It's all right, love. You can do it. Don't squish your baby. Come on. Their little tongue's moving. Don't squish your baby. It's all right, love. You're all right. You can do it, love. You're almost there. You're almost there. Here comes the head. Just a little further. Just a little further. You can do it. Come on. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. Here. It's okay. It's all right. Lick my finger. See? That's a birthing goo. Your baby's coming. Good girl. You'll be all right. Okay, ready? We're going to get him out. Come on. Push a little more. You're nearly there. Here we go. We got the head out. We're going to go ahead and clear his nostrils so he can start to breathe. There we go. That's the hardest part done. Look at that pretty little white head. Look at that white head. You can do it, love. You're nearly there. He's breathing, I think. Are you breathing? Yeah, you're breathing. Get all the junk out of your nostrils. There we go. Perfect. Good job. Good job. Oh, what a pretty baby. Cleo, it's your baby. It's your baby. It's your baby. Good girl. Yeah, that's your baby, Cleo. He's really choky. I probably ought to suction his lungs out a little bit. Or suction his airways. I just don't want to get right in the middle right now because I want her to bond with him. And since he's a freshener, can get a little dicey. Good girl. I'm gonna go get something to suction out his airways. He's really coughing. Yeah. Good girl, Cleo. That's your baby. Yeah, that's your baby. Take care of your baby. Here comes the next one. Here comes the next one. Ooh. Hi, little one. Let's get your nose. Here we go. Look, Cleo. You've got 2 babies. Look at those babies you got. That was really quick. That was like less than 5 minutes. Oh, good girl. Okay. I'm gonna clean out their little mouths a little bit here. Gonna get it cleaned out. Yeah, get all that junk out of there. That'll make you feel better. Yuck. Maybe a little one. Let's clean you out too. Good girl, Cleo. Get it out of there. Yuck. Good girl. You're such a good mama. Let's get you dry. Get you dry, little one. Yeah. Let's get you dry. Just gonna dry these guys off so they don't get chilled, hopefully. Yeah. Get you guys dried off a little bit. pushing again. I don't know if that's after birth or another baby, but I think she's obviously got something else. Let's look. That was another fluid sac. I don't know. What have we got? That's a boy. I figured it was a boy when I saw the size of those feet. Okay. Let's get some fresh hay here. Here we go. Here we go, Cleo. Get you some fresh hay so your babies stay nice and dry. Let's see what you are. Hey, little one. Come here. Come here, little one. Oh, look at all that mucus on you. Let's wipe you off. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Yeah. Fresh towel. Let's see what you are. Oh, it's a girl. Yay! We'll have a pretty baby. Hi, little girl. Everybody's been wanting you. Yeah. Okay, babies. Get you all cleaned up. Get you dried off. No, you're a strong one, buddy. So this is the boy, and he was starting to get a little chilly, so I stuck him under a heat lamp and blow dried him a little bit. And here's the little girl hanging with mom. Cleo is not sure about letting him nurse, which is fine. I've had that happen before. So looks like the little girl's a little cold too. Come here, little girl. Why don't you come hang with your brother? So I just went ahead and put Cleo on the milking stand and milked her a little bit into a bottle and gave them both colostrum. So they've both had some colostrum, and I'll work with Cleo a little bit more. I think I could probably get her to nurse them. She just hasn't figured it all out yet, and that's fine. There you go. Lay there with your brother where it's warm. There you go. There you go. So anyway, it's all new to her. We're still waiting on the placenta, but that could take a few hours to pass. That's your baby. He's your baby. Yeah. Just your baby. Alright, we're going to get him to nurse. He needs to nurse. He's hungry. nurse latched. If you can just get the hang of it, she can figure out how nursing works, then my life will be a whole heck of a lot easier. It's okay, baby. It's okay. Come here, not my hand. There you go. Good boy. He's trying. There we go. He's latched. There we go. I'm gonna get that figured out. Good girl. You know? Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. You just have to figure this out. It's not that hard to get. He's just gonna relax again on his own. There we go. There we go. Easy nurser. He doesn't have much finesse. So his tail's moving on. That's good. That's a good sign. Yeah, that's what you do. You can't usually shove the teat in the kid's mouth. You have to kind of, can't show you very well, but you have to kind of hold them in the right position, help them stand, and then just angle the teat so the point is pointing towards their mouth. Get a latch on. All right, he's going for it now. We're starting to figure this out. There we go. Good girl. Good girl, Cleo. I don't want this to be too traumatic here. I want her to enjoy her babies. Not think of it as a traumatic thing to do. There we go. You are just very clumsy. He's not very good at staying latched. Some kids, it's like, as soon as they get latched, it's like a suction, you know, they're like, all right, this is what we got. But he does have a little bit of a pooch here in his tummy, so I think we're good. So both kids have had a few ounces of colostrum. The girl drank almost 4 ounces from the bottle, and then the boy drank some from the bottle, probably maybe 2 ounces, and then he drank some from Cleo when he was latched on there. So that's probably good enough for now. I'm gonna get my iodine and dip their umbilical cords. Okay. So you've got a long umbilical cord. There we go. That's nicely covered. That's nicely covered. I don't like to dip them right away after they're born because the mom will just lick it off. So it's just better to wait until she's done with some of the licking. Little girl. And then the iodine will help dry their umbilical off as well. Oops, watch out, love. You see, you've already got stuff stuck to yours. Okay. Those are both dipped. Good girl, Cleo. You're a good mom. She's licking her babies. Once you figure nursing out, you'll be a perfect mother. And then another thing I wanted to just show you is the stall. Obviously, there's a lot of birthing goo in here. But I just, I use hay for bedding. I just buy a round bale and use that to bed down my goats. And so there's sawdust underneath. If you look here, there's sawdust, so that soaks up the moisture. And then you can put the hay on top. And what I did is I just had 2 feed sacks full of hay, and then I just used those to cover up the birthing goo. So that's all still under there, but the kids have a nice dry surface to sleep on. They'll keep them clean and dry. And then once they get bonded and settled a little bit more, probably in the next day or 2, I'll just come clean out my stall here, but this will just hold them for now. Cleo's got hay. She's got alfalfa and grass hay right there. I don't have a feeder, so she's just eating it on the floor. I have this little setup for the kids. Not the best, but it works. And then I have molasses water here for her. So I think they're good to go. So I'm just gonna leave them for a while. The kids have been fed. She's taking care of them. We'll work on feeding them later. I don't want her to get too traumatized. But they're active and happy, and I think they're mostly dry now, so we're good. We're good for now. That is newborn poop. That black stuff. That's the meconium. And then he'll start pooping kind of orange or brown, orange or yellow rather, color poop. And that's when you know that they're starting to get the colostrum or the milk through their system. That black is the newborn poop. That's a good sign. That means everything's working well. And she's had plenty to eat. She is just ready to sleep. She's a sleepy gal. Good girl. See, you can do it. You can nurse your baby. Good girl. There we go. See if she can nurse herself. Looking in the wrong place, baby. Down there. Nope, hold still. Let her nurse. Good girl. It's alright. Good girl. It's okay. So I'm not holding on to Cleo at all. I had to hold her a little bit and had to point the teeth the right direction to get the girl latched on, but she's doing it on her own pretty much. I think in a couple days she'll be great. Oh, I think the girl's a little bit more dexterous nurser than her brother. And then Cleo, that looks like she's just cleaning out discharge. And then she passed the placenta, so that's really good. I don't know why it is, but sometimes they just don't like me to be there for the placenta. So, and a lot of times they'll eat the placenta too, so it can be a little dicey knowing if they've actually passed it or not. But since she had such an easy kidding, I figured the placenta wouldn't take much to pass. So I think that's just her cleaning out discharge. So this little girl looks great. A little firecracker. You're a little firecracker. Your brother's sleepy, but he got a good feed earlier, so I think he's just good to go. I switched out my heat lamp. My other one was 150 watt, I think, and this, it just wasn't warm enough. So I did a 250. And I think they're warmer. Hi, little girl. You're so pretty. I love you. You're beautiful. Got a little white nose and a little white bonnet from your mama. You're so pretty. You're so pretty. You gotta really watch kids. The newborn ones, they just can't hold their body. They can't regulate their body temperature, so they'll get hot or they'll get cold really easily. So you gotta really, wow, look at her. She's beautiful. Look at that top line. Oh my gosh, she's gonna be gorgeous. So yeah, just until they get dried off and nursing well and on their feet, I'm gonna have a heat lamp on them. He's like, oh Mom, why'd you have to wake me up? I was sleeping over here, Mom. And they'll start to just get real lethargic if they're cold. And that's not what you want. Obviously, you want them up moving around, eating. Look at that tail. I don't have any milk for you, love. That's your mom's job. I'm not your mom. So I just noticed they were starting to get a little slow, especially him because he was the firstborn. So I got a warmer lamp and got him set up in the bottom of this little dog crate here so it blocks some of the drafts. And, a heat lamp is tied and wired. This isn't the greatest setup. I was hoping to avoid using heat lamps this year because I'm kidding in April and May, but it looks like Cleo decided to wait till a cold day to have her babies. Yeah, you did. You're a good girl. Alright, well I think we're in pretty good shape. This placenta, sometimes if you're not sure if it's all there, you can just check for any like torn edges. And if you're not sure about the disease status of your goats, wear gloves. I'm not wearing gloves, but I also raised Cleo, so I feel pretty comfortable that she doesn't have anything that I haven't already been exposed to. She's probably fine. This looks pretty good. I'm not seeing any torn edges or anything that would make me think that she didn't pass it all. So I think we're probably in good shape. She obviously isn't excited about eating it, so I'm gonna put it in the compost pile, and then the dogs will probably dig it out and eat it at some point. And that's how life goes. And their joints look really good. I'm not seeing any symptoms of selenium deficiency or contracted tendons or anything like that. They look amazing. You guys look amazing. You're the most beautiful babies. Hi. Alright. So that's the boy latched. He's on there. Lost it. He's not as good of a nurser as the girl. I think the girl is probably a bit smarter. I think she's gonna figure it out pretty quick on her own. He might need a little love here. You might need a little love. Do you need some love? Yeah? You gonna figure it out on your own, or do you need some help from some helping hands here? Go on. There it is. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Here you go. Cleo is standing so well. Good girl, Cleo. You're the best. Oh. We're done? Are we done? Are we done with that nonsense? Yeah, I'm going to quit filming so I can use two hands to latch on little Buster Brown here. His tummy feels pretty firm, so he's not super hungry, but if he's up looking for a bite to eat, I'd like to have him find it in the right spot. Yep, look at you. You got little white bracelet on your leg. You're so pretty. He is so pretty. Man, I think he's going to have really nice structure too. Dang. Good job, Cleo. What beautiful babies. So the thing that I've learned about getting kids nursing is you have to be really slow and patient and let them kind of take their time and think that they're figuring it out on their own. If you try to force things, they don't do well. And the moms, you know, sometimes if they've got a really full udder, which thankfully Cleo didn't bag up too much until she was actually in labor. So her udder is nice and soft. It's not like slam full of milk. But sometimes if they have a really full udder, it's either hard for the kids to latch because the udder is just so tight and the teats are really stiff and it's hard for them to get a good latch on, or their udder is just painful for the doe and they don't want anybody messing with it. And so, you know, sometimes if that happens, you just got to milk a little bit out and put it in a bottle and bottle feed the kids. And I had one other doe that I had a hard time getting her babies to nurse, and I ended up just milking her into a bottle and feeding the kid a few times just to make sure he had the colostrum in him that he needed, because kids can only absorb colostrum for like, I think it's 24 hours. So they really need it like in that short time frame right after they are born. Hi, they're right over here. And so, you know, they really need it whether they're nursing or whether you're bottling them. But to me, since I don't want to bottle raise my babies, if I can get the doe to take them and raise them herself, then that's what I'm going to do, because I in my mind, that's well worth the time investment, working with them for a few days just to make sure that she can then raise her kids in the future, and will do a better job. If I had a doe that had 2 freshenings that she struggled to not, you know, she would struggle with her kids and wasn't letting them nurse or whatever, she would probably not be here anymore. But I've never had that happen so far. But yeah, Cleo's obviously, she's attentive. She loves her baby. She's licking them. She's talking to them. So she just has to figure out the whole nursing thing. And I think them fumbling around on the teat is what's weirding her out. It's probably just a really weird feeling for her. Because when I was milking her, I milked her into a bottle to give them some colostrum. She was totally fine with that. She didn't fidget at all. She was great. So, you know, I don't think being milked is the problem for her. Another thing to think about too with the whole nursing thing is the nursing stimulates contractions. And sometimes, you know, if they're having a hard time getting their placenta passed or whatever, you need to either get the kids nursing or get the doe milked, just to help stimulate those contractions. And, you know, sometimes I think maybe they don't like the feeling of the contractions, and so they don't want the kids nursing, but they really do need that to get their afterbirth out, and then start getting their uterus toned and back into shape after the kidding. And sometimes, I mean, it's almost instantaneous. Like, you get a kid latched and nursing, or you'll start to milk a doe, and you'll instantly start to see the contractions. It's very, very quick sometimes. Hi, you coming over to see me? Oh, you did a big poop. Good boy. That's what we want to see. It's been about an hour and a half that I've just stayed inside, and I haven't messed around with them. And when I came back out, she passed her placenta. She's a lot more calm, and obviously a lot more accepting of the babies and letting them nurse. So I think we're on the up and up. Because she's been struggling a little bit with letting them nurse, I will probably just keep her separated in the stall overnight and maybe part of the day tomorrow. I'll just see how she does. I was hoping maybe she could just integrate back with the other goats, but that doesn't look like maybe that would be such a great idea, especially since it's kind of cold. Anyway, I'll just let them get really good and bonded and get the nursing thing figured out, and then we can work on getting them in with the herd. These babies, they are crazy. So they've turned into little poop factories. You got that black meconium there, and I think she's pooping some too. So that's good. That's what you want to see. You want to see them pooping. Now it's on me. This stuff is like tar. It sticks really bad. I'm just gonna try to get this off with the hay. I don't want it on my hands because otherwise it'll be on everything else. Hi, you pooped on me. What'd you do that for? Hi, you're so cute. Hi, baby. You good boy. Oh, look at there. Look at there. Did she latch all by herself? I think maybe she was latched. That's really good. Just let her nurse, Cleo. Once the doe's past the placenta, the kids are dry and warm. They've bonded, and I've seen the kids latch and nurse by themselves. Then I sleep a lot better at night. Then I'm like, whew, all right. We have crossed all the major hurdles. So we're on the way here. We're on the way. I think everyone's fed for now, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. I'm going to leave them alone. Yeah, she's starting to lay down. So pretty much the only time I ever get on a scale is during kidding season, because I weigh myself on a bathroom scale and then pick up the kids and weigh myself again and figure out the difference between the two weights. And that's how much the kids weigh. So I just weighed both of these guys. They're both 8.8 pounds. That's not an exact weight, obviously, because they've both had some colostrum, and they've also both pooped and peed numerous times. So, but I figure it gives you a ballpark estimate. And honestly, I think when they were born, that buckling, I think, was a lot bigger. And you can just see he's a little bit taller and stuff than his sister. But I think she's a bit better nurser. She looks fatter than he does. So, I think she's catching up to him. She's catching up to you, Buster. Cleo just looks good. I'm going to keep them separated from the other goats tonight, just because it's supposed to be pretty cold, and it's going to be warmer in the stall if I keep the doors closed. And Cleo's the bottom of the pecking order, so usually the other goats are pretty respectful of each other's kids. In fact, I had this door open a little bit ago because I had to take some bedding out there to put in the outside shelters. And look at that little girl. She's going on an adventure. You're going to have your hands full, Cleo. And the other goats just kind of came to the edge of the door and looked in, and they weren't being aggressive or anything. But it made Cleo really nervous. I could tell, just to have them close like that, because she's used to them chasing her around. Good mama. And so I'll probably keep them separated until the kids get good at nursing, and I know that she's nursing them well. And then I'll feel confident to go ahead and integrate them with the rest of the herd. So, hi, baby. Hi, baby. You're so pretty. But yeah, they both look great. They're up bouncing around. They look happy. They look content. So, they both nursed quite a bit earlier, and maybe they've nursed since then as well. I'm hoping she's letting them nurse. She's obviously taking good care of them. She's looking on them. She's got a mound of hay here. I just gave her a little bit of grain and I'm gonna refill her bucket of water there. So I think we're in good shape. One thing I wanted to point out too is in your kidding stalls, you want to be careful with water buckets, because if she was to have her kid standing next to that bucket, it could fall in and drown. And so I usually either hang my buckets up higher than the level of the doe's backside and make like a little step that they have to stand on to get up to get a drink. Like I had today, I mean, the water was outside and she could go get a drink, but she didn't really want it, so it wasn't a big deal. But anyway, that's just something to be mindful of. Obviously, once the kids are born, if you have a 5-gallon bucket, they're probably not going to end up falling in that, so you're fairly safe. She's such a good mom. Look at her. She's so good. She's so good. Yeah, the dogs are out there. Hi, baby. Hi, baby. I need to go scrape the amniotic fluid off my towels. If you try to wash them with the amniotic goo still on, yeah, big yawn. It makes a horrible mess. So I'm gonna go scrape that off and put my kidding towels in the washer. Well guys, thanks for watching. I hope this video was helpful or interesting to you in some way. And I'll keep you guys posted. You'll get lots of cute kid spam in the days ahead. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.